Nelson Fortune. That is a sexy name.
Leave this with me.
Floor is yours. Method?
Blitzkrieg.
Make me feel as only you.
Nothing to worry about.
He's my business manager.
You going for me?
Now you
Why don't you talk to me? Why don't you trust me? Why don't you love me? Israel, why don't you talk to me? Why don't you trust me? Why don't you love me? Israel, Israel, Israel. Israel, Israel.
Israel, oh Israel, got some thick skin. Reflex so stiff neck, no vixen. Talking about scraping pots with no pot to piss in. Wax cold, get a Q-tip twisted and listen. Likened in his image and it's inscripted in slaves. Simply changed to a 9 to 5 in the chain gang. Feel like Jonah in the belly riding the same way. John, Peter, and Joseph been through the same things. For our example, get a grip cause it's hard to handle. Remote control in my hand, the commandment to channel. Finna put a ram's horn of manure on the mantle. Thinking about where and tour when Moses can handle it. Damn, and don't ever get this mistaken, forsaken. Y'all creative for images that's been graven. We too complacent. Identity taken, first and the last, looking back like what you done for me lately.
Why don't you talk to me? Why don't you trust me? Why don't you love me? Israel, why don't you talk to me? Why don't you trust me? Why don't you love me? Israel, Israel, Israel. Israel, Israel. Over and over again, I've proven myself to you. The sacrificial lamb came down and died for you. Why? Israel, Israel. Why don't you serve me? Obey. Do what I say. Israel, my firstborn, my wife adored. Israel,
It is okay to be so stressed and overwhelmed that you feel like you need to talk to someone about it. And by that, I mean going to therapy. Lately, the transition from college into post-grad and working full-time and adulting has been really stressful. It's a lot of change. And so I've been using BetterHelp to help guide me through this huge transitional time in my life. And
we'll go ahead and get started and open up.
Okay, let us pray. Our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. In Jesus' holy name we pray. Amen.
peace to everybody that's tuning in.
Peace.
Online, on the conference call, Rumble, Facebook, YouTube conference. We'll go ahead and get this Wednesday Q&A going, Bible study. So we'll start with the conference line. I don't see nothing on YouTube right now.
Not no Facebook at the moment either.
Anything on the conference line? Uh-huh.
Sister Cheryl, we just adjusting the mic. Can you say that one more time, please?
Okay, I was asking, you know, some people consider their animals part of their family. So I was just asking if they're sick, is it okay to pray for them as you would a human being? But I know that the Lord considers animals flesh too.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, that's a real good question, Sister Cheryl. Let's see something. Let's go back.
I know we can get in trouble if we mistreat them. I can't remember. I think that's in oh golly, Ecclesiastes.
Right.
Somewhere in Ecclesiastes, yeah, where if you mistreat your, it says beast, but that could follow any creature, I would assume. As far as man mistreating them is what I'm saying.
Got you. Let's go to Genesis 6.
Okay.
And if you got anything you want to add.
Yeah, we'll go to Proverbs. One thing that came to mind, because I know Brother Mikael had said something a long time ago about being cruelty to animals, and I think it was in Proverbs. But okay, so Genesis.
Yeah, let's go to Genesis 6. Let's just see something here. Yep. Genesis 6. Let's pick it up at verse 5.
And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
All right, so we know that man is like the higher creature, you know, the higher form. You know, it is what it is, because we think, not saying that they don't think nothing like that, but we gonna see something. Go ahead, verse 6. Go ahead.
And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast.
All right, so the animals didn't do nothing. But the Lord was going to destroy man and what?
And beast.
What else?
And the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them.
Skip down and read verse 11.
The earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence.
Keep going.
And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth.
All right, he said all flesh, Go ahead.
And God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth.
And you see right there, so what you had to add to it is just right there. You can see that, like the animals, he was gonna kill the animals with man. So,
right.
As in praying for them, I can't really say I can see something wrong for you, like you got a dog or something sick or something like that. It's part of your family,
Right.
And some people do, treat it like treat some of the animals like their own kids. Some people can't have kids and they have a pet for so long. So, you still take an animal to the doctor and everything else. They take them to vets when they get sick. So it become part of your family. So if you got something in Proverbs, you can go ahead.
Yeah, let's move over to Proverbs 12. And I think Sister Sher, she mentioned Ecclesiastes. I think that might be in 3. We can go over there next. That's the only 2 I had. So Proverbs 12.
I can't remember the exact scripture or what chapter it's in, but it seemed like I read that there somewhere.
Yeah, we're gonna look for it. But this here, let's see what we find here in Proverbs 12, and pick it up at verse 10. Proverbs 12 and verse 10. Go ahead and read when you're there, brother.
A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel.
See, so it's nothing wrong to care for your animals, because as you said, you can have an animal that's been, close to the family for quite a while, and you consider him or her, part of the family or whatever. And like Brother Nate said, I agree with him on it not being a problem with you praying for it if it's sick, or, if it hurt itself to get better or something of that nature, because, we as human beings anyway are supposed to be praying for peace within our lives anyway. So if that includes your pet, then I don't see nothing wrong with that. But I wanted to go over here too in Ecclesiastes, and this is Ecclesiastes, I think what is it? 3? Let me see. Ecclesiastes Song of Solomon. Let me find it. All right, Ecclesiastes 3 and okay, no, it was at 19. I don't think that's it. Yeah, that's just talking about it in passing. That ain't the one I was looking for. In Ecclesiastes, I'm sorry. Let me see.
While you're looking for that, go to Matthew 6 real quick.
Matthew 6. All right.
And I want to just go here to Matthew 6. We're going to read verse 26. But I know it don't per se like kind of has something to kind of do with it, but if you kind of look at this here, You know, hey, the Lord, He created everything. So he got the animals too. You know, He got you, He got the animals. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say I don't see nothing wrong with it. So, you know, if I'm wrong about it, you know, I'm up for correction. But Matthew 6, and let's read verse 26.
26. Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they?
All right, so, you know, the Lord He take care of what He created.
Right.
So, you know, if something's wrong with the animal or something like that, you know, no, I don't see nothing wrong with you praying for the animal.
Okay.
You know, it's like, if back then, like, we got cars now, they had ox, horses, and everything like that. That was how you can kind of get around.
Right.
So, you know, that's all. I don't know. I ain't got too much more on that, but I said, if you got anything, you found anything.
No, I don't think I have anything else. I was gonna go over to Luke. Yeah, let's go over there. Luke 14. We can read something about just being kind to your animals, period, in general. And I see praying for them as, you know, part of that whole process anyway. Luke 14 and 5. Luke 14 and pick it up at verse 5 and read when you get there.
And answered them, saying, which of you shall have an ass or an ox fall into a pit, and will not straightway pull him out of the Sabbath, pull him out on the Sabbath day?
See, because, you know, if you was you know, traveling somewhere on the Sabbath day and your ox or your donkey ass kind of fell into a pit, you know, you showing, you know, a form of compassion by getting them out of the ditch, you know, even on the Sabbath day. And the Lord, you know, goes on to even say, I don't think it's here, but yeah, it was up. It said, I'm going to read 3. And Jesus answering spake unto the lawyers and Pharisees, saying, is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath day? See, because they was always on him about, you know, him healing on the Sabbath day and doing good on the Sabbath day. And he said it's not against the law to do good on the Sabbath day. So, and we see in that example that, you know, if your beast fell in the field or fell in a ditch on the Sabbath day, showing compassion and getting them out, you know, that's kind of like a natural part of thing when you own, you know, beasts. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to add.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Praise the Lord if that helps you, Sister Cheryl.
It did. Now, I was thinking that my dog hadn't been acting too well lately, and I was thinking, okay, because we had one that passed away right here in our apartment, and my husband was extremely close to that dog, and this is my dog, so I'm thinking I don't think I can handle it if both of them pass away. The other one passed away almost 3 years ago, and he was old. Well, this one is getting old too, so he's showing signs of his age, and he's just, I mean, he's lost a lot of weight within a couple of months of time, and that kind of really bothers me. So I'm thinking, please don't pass away on me. And this is my first and only dog, and I just don't think I can handle it. So I was praying for him one day last week, and I said, oh, should I be doing this? And I said, I better ask, because I really, truly didn't know.
Right.
I know we're not supposed to beat him or anything like that. We get in trouble for that. We get in trouble with the Lord for that. But I just wanted to know if it was okay to pray for him as well.
Okay. Yeah. That's, I mean, like I say,
like it's a child to you. Yeah.
My daughter has the dog now, so. All right, go to YouTube.
All right, let me go over to YouTube.
I got this question on YouTube already.
Okay, you already got it up.
All right, so first, peace, Sister Elizabeth. Peace, Sister Lisa. Peace, Sister Cheryl. Peace, Brother Terrell. Peace, Hebrew Harv. All right, Hebrew Harv question is, who is the Shulamite in the Songs of Solomon 6, verse 13?
Song of Solomon 6.
Who is the Shulamite? All right. Let's go ahead and let's go to Song of Solomon 6.
Song of Solomon 6.
Let's go ahead and read verse 13.
Verse 13.
6 and 13.
But yet in it shall be a tenth.
That's Song of Solomon?
No, that's Isaiah. What happened there? My bad. Song of Solomon 6 and 13. Return, return, O Shulamite. Return, return, that we may look upon thee. What will ye see in the Shulamite? As it were the company of two armies.
All right, so that's the verse that's at hand.
Question?
Question at hand. 6 and 13. Let me turn the volume up. They're setting the volume low.
Okay.
Testing. All right. So read that verse one more time.
Return, return, O Shulamite. Return, return, that we may look upon thee. What will ye see in the Shulamite?
All right. So the question is who is the Shulamite at Song of Solomon 6 and verse 13? So let's pick it back up in verse 1.
Whither is thy beloved gone, O thou fairest among women? Whether is thy beloved turned aside, that we may seek him with thee? My beloved is gone down into his garden, to the bed of spices, to feed in the gardens, and to gather lilies.
Go ahead.
I am my beloved's, and my beloved is mine. He feedeth among the lilies. Thou art beautiful, O my love, as Tirzah, comely as Jerusalem, terrible as an army with banners. Turn away thine eyes from me, for they have overcome me. Thy hair is as a flock of goats that appear from Gilead. Thy teeth are as a flock of sheep which go up from the washing, whereof every one beareth twins, and there is not one barren among them.
Go ahead.
As a piece of a pomegranate are thy temples within thy locks. There are 80 queens and 80 concubines, and virgins without number.
Go ahead.
My dove, my undefiled, is but one. She is the only one of her mother. She is the choice one of her that bare her. The daughters saw her and blessed her. Yea, the queens and the concubines, and they praised her. Who is she that looketh forth as the morning, fair as the moon, clear as the sun, and terrible as any army with banners?
Go ahead.
I went down into the garden of nuts to see the fruits of the valley, and to see whether the vine flourished and the pomegranates budded. Or ever I was aware, my soul made me like the chariots of Amminadab. Return, return, O Shulamite. Return, return, that we may look upon thee. What will ye see in the Shulamite? As it were the company of two armies.
That's good. So we are, you know, people tell you that the Song of Solomon is Solomon talking to one of his wives, and that's not what it is. It's Jesus talking about Israel.
Right.
All right. So he's talking about his wife, which is Israel. So let's go back and actually go to 7.
7?
Song of Solomon 7. Pick it up at verse 1. Just read straight into 7 and 1.
How beautiful are thy feet with shoes, O prince's daughter. The joints of thy thighs are like jewels, the work of the hands of a cunning workman.
All right, so this is talking about a woman, right? Go ahead.
Thy navel is like a round goblet, which wanteth not liquor. Thy belly is like an heap of wheat set about with lilies. Thy 2 breasts are like 2 young roes that are twins. Thy neck is as a tower of ivory, thine eyes like the fish pools in Heshbon, by the gate of Bath Rabbim. Thy nose is as the tower of Lebanon, which looketh toward Damascus. Thine head upon thee is like Carmel, and the hair of thine head like purple.
All right, that's good. Let's go to, actually, no, that's still in 7. Let's skip down to verse 10.
I am my beloved's, and his desire is toward me.
So this is not, it's coming from that point of view. Go ahead.
Come, my beloved, let us go forth into the field. Let us lodge in the villages. Let us get up early to the vineyards. Let us see if the vine flourish, whether the tender grape appear, and the pomegranates bud forth. There will I give thee my loves. The mandrakes give a smell, and at our gates are all manner of pleasant fruits, new and old, which I have laid up for thee, O my beloved.
All right, so let's go back to Song of Solomon 1. Like I said, the question is who is the Shulamite? We'll start breaking it down. Let's Song of Solomon 1, and let's pick it up at verse 1.
The Song of Songs, which is Solomon's. Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for thy love is better than wine. Because of the savor of thy good ointments, thy name is as ointment poured forth. Therefore do the virgins love thee.
Go ahead.
Draw me, we will run after thee. The king hath brought me into his chambers. We will be glad and rejoice in thee. We will remember thy love more than wine. The upright love thee.
All right, so now this is the Shulamite love for the king, right? Verse 5.
I am black, but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon.
Go ahead.
Look not upon me because I am black, because the sun hath looked upon me. My mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but mine own vineyard have I not kept. Tell me, O thou whom my soul loveth, where thou feedest, where thou makest thy flock to rest at noon. For why should I be as one that turneth aside by the flocks of thy companions?
All right, so let's because when you read Solomon, Song of Solomon, 1, and start at verse 1, we know that that's talking about and that's describing Jesus too, right? But then when we get in here, the vineyard, he said at verse 6, it said, look not upon me because I am black, because the sun hath looked upon me. My mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyard, but my own vineyard have I not kept. And that's talking about Jesus right there.
Right.
He's the keeper of the vineyard. All right? And also in the Song of Solomon, he's the shepherd. What was that? That was verse 6. Read verse 7 again.
Tell me, O thou whom my soul loveth, where thou feedest, where thou makest thy flock to rest at noon. For why should I be as one that turneth aside by the flocks of thy companions?
Verse 8.
If thou know not, O thou fairest among women.
Fairest among what? Fairest among women. Beautiful among the women. Go ahead.
Go thy way forth by the footsteps of the flock, and feed thy kids beside the shepherd's tents.
You can read verse 9.
Solomon, oh, that's a header, my bad. I have compared thee, O my love, to a company of horses in Pharaoh's chariots.
Go ahead.
Thy cheeks are comely with rows of jewels, thy neck with chains of gold.
Go ahead.
We will make thee borders of gold with studs of silver. While the king sitteth at his table, my spikenard sendeth forth the smell thereof. A bundle of myrrh is my well-beloved unto me. He shall lie all night betwixt my breasts. My beloved is unto me as a cluster of camphor in the vineyards of En-Gedi. Behold, thou art fair, my love. Behold, thou art fair. Thou hast dove's eyes. Behold, thou art fair, my beloved. Yea, pleasant also our bed is green.
All right, let's go to Revelations 12.
Revelations 12. Revelations 12. All right.
Revelations 12 and we're just gonna read verse 6.
And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days.
All right, go back up to verse 1.
And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
All right, so that's good. So we know who that woman is. That woman is Israel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's go to Revelation. Let's see. Let's go to 21.
21. You said Revelation 21?
Yeah, let me see it this way. Yeah, 21 and verse 9.
And there came unto me one of the seven angels which had the seven vials full of the seven last plagues, and talked with me, saying, Come hither, I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife.
Oh, the bride, the whose wife?
The Lamb's wife.
And that's Israel. So I hope that answered the question. We can, you know what? You got anything you want to add?
No, I don't have nothing to add to that one.
Let's go to Psalms 80 and 15. Psalms 80 and 15.
Psalms 80, 15.
We might read up a little bit. Let me see. Psalms 80, pick it up at verse 14.
Return, we beseech thee, O God of hosts, look down from heaven, and behold, and visit this vine.
Go ahead, now 15.
And the vineyard which thy right hand hath planted, and the branch that thou madest strong for thyself.
All right, so we see right here the vineyard that which who had planted? The right hand had planted.
Right.
And so now let's go back to Song of Solomon.
6 and 13, right?
No, we're going to pick it up at Songs of Solomon, Songs of Solomon 1, and we're going to pick it up at verse 6, then we'll go back to that 6, to Song of Solomon 6.
Look not upon me because I am black, because the sun hath looked upon me. My mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but mine own vineyard have I not kept.
And we know that that's talking about Jesus. All right, so now let's go to Song of Solomon 6. because that's the whole thing. They say that this is about one of Solomon's wives, but we finna now when we see all of everything put into its context, you know, the vineyard, we know Jesus the ultimate shepherd. Right. You know, he's the king. So then you look at this here. Now we're dealing with this Shulamite, and now let's pick it up at 6 and 1, because we already read about who the woman is, who his bride is, who the lamb. It says the lamb's wife.
The lamb's wife, right?
All right, now Song of Solomon 6 and 1.
Whither is thy beloved gone, O thou fairest among women? Whither is thy beloved turned aside?
So now you see right there, it says, whither is thy beloved gone, O thou fairest among women? That's a question, right? And we know who his bride is. She's the fairest among the women. Go ahead.
That we may seek him, that we may seek him with thee. My beloved is gone down into his garden, to the beds of spices, to feed in the gardens, and to gather lilies. I am my beloved's, and my beloved is mine. He feedeth among the lilies. Thou art beautiful, O my love, as Tirzah, comely as Jerusalem, terrible as an army with banners. Turn away thy enemies from me. Turn away thine eyes from me, for they have overcome me. Thy hair is as a flock of goats that appear from Gilead. Thy teeth are as a flock of sheep which go up from the washing, whereof everyone beareth twins, and there is not one barren among them. As a piece of a pomegranate are thy temples within thy locks. There are 80 queens and 80 concubines and virgins without number. My doves, the undefiled, is but one. She is the only one of her mother. She is the choice one of her that bear her.
So she's the choice one.
The elect.
Skip down, now read 13.
Return, O Shulamite. Return, that we may look upon thee. What will ye see in the Shulamite? As it were the company of two armies.
And so the Lord, he just, return. Now let's go to Song of Solomon 8. Song of Solomon 8, and then pick it up at verse 6.
Set me as a seal upon thine heart, as a seal upon thine arm, for love is strong as death. Jealousy is cruel as the grave. The coals thereof are coals of fire, which hath a most vehement flame. Many waters cannot quench love, neither can the floods drown it. If a man would give all the substance of his house for love, it would utterly be contemned. We have a little sister, and she hath no breast. What shall we do for our sister in the day when she shall be spoken for? If she be a wall, we will build upon her a palace of silver, and if she be a door, we will enclose her with boards of cedar. I am a wall, and my breasts like towers. Then was I in his eyes as one that found favor.
All right, that's good. So I'm looking at that as Israel,
right?
Like if anything else, I can be stand corrected if it's not what. That's what I see it to be.
I mean, because it's saying, right, that they, like earlier in 6, it's kind of like they fell away, and then the question in 13 is the Shulamite returning. I think you hit it on the head with that one.
So I hope that answered the question. Anything on Facebook?
Let me look. I kind of fell off. My phone been tweaking too. Lisa, peace. Brother Harold Griffith, peace, brother. Broderick, peace, family. Sister Elizabeth, peace and love. No questions. No questions on Facebook at the moment.
All right. Phone lines. Have you got anything on the phone lines?
erase the numbers.
All right. Nothing on the phone lines?
Let me refresh, make sure I ain't losing nothing.
Let's, you know what? Let's go to Jeremiah.
Jeremiah?
Yeah, I want to kind of touch on the vineyard thing too.
Oh, okay.
Jeremiah 12.
Jeremiah 12.
Jeremiah 12, and let me see where I want to kind of pick it up at. Jeremiah 12, pick it up at verse 7.
I have forsaken mine house, I have left mine heritage, I have given the dearly beloved of my soul into the hands of her enemies.
Oh, you see this here? So it says, I have forsaken my house, I have left my heritage, I have given the dearly beloved of my soul into the hand of her enemies. Go ahead, verse 9.
Mine heritage is unto, verse 9 you said, or 8?
I'm sorry, 8.
Mine heritage is unto me as a lion in the forest. It crieth out against me, therefore have I hated it.
Go ahead.
Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field. Come to devour.
Come and devour. Verse 10, though.
Many pastors have destroyed my vineyard.
Oh, many pastors have did what?
Destroyed my vineyard.
See, the Lord called Israel his vineyard.
That's right.
What was that, Psalms 80 we read? With the right hand planted the vineyard.
Yeah, right hand planted the vineyard, yeah.
Many pastors have destroyed my vineyard. They have what?
They have trodden down my portion underfoot. They have made my pleasant portion a desolate wilderness.
Go ahead.
They have made it desolate, and being desolate, it mourneth unto me. The whole land is made desolate, because no man layeth it to heart. The spoilers are come upon all high places through the wilderness. For the sword of the Lord shall devour from the one end of the land even to the other end of the land. No flesh shall have peace.
Go ahead.
Then have sown wheat, they have sown wheat, but shall reap thorns. They have put themselves to pain, but shall not profit. And they shall be ashamed of your revenues because of the fierce anger of the Lord.
Verse 14.
Thus saith the Lord against all mine evil neighbors, that touch the inheritance, which I have caused my people Israel to inherit.
Go ahead.
Behold, I will pluck them out of their land, and pluck out the house of Judah from among them.
Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass after that I have plucked them out, I will return and have compassion on them, and will bring them again, every man to his heritage and every man to his land.
All right, so you see right here, it said after he do all that, hey, he gonna get his bride back. And that's what we was reading in Revelation. He go take his wife back. So, like I say, I hope that did help out with the rest of it.
Yeah, I didn't think about that one. Writing that one down.
What we got?
7 to 13.
Sister Sure, you got anything on there? Any questions? Conference? Lost the conference.
Hung up? It's a weekend.
You got that sheet with the... conference y'all left?
Right.
Yep, we here.
Okay. We don't got nothing on the conference line. Oh, I can turn my mic off. We don't got nothing on the conference line, do we?
Nope, I had my one question. I don't know if there's anybody else on the phone.
Yeah, I don't think there's nobody else out there.
Sister Jenny, you there? She's normally on the phone, but I don't even, and she normally would say something.
All right, we got anything on, ain't nothing on Facebook?
No, nope, nothing on Facebook. Let me go back out and come back in just in case. Sometimes my phone don't be refreshing properly. But
I have Facebook up on my computer, but I don't see anything.
Yeah, it usually don't be nothing on Facebook. Let's see something. Nope. Nothing on Facebook. All right. This phone going dead. That's what the problem is.
oh, the battery, huh?
Yeah, let me go grab another phone.
Charger too. Okay, so I guess we'll just okay. Let's see here.
Brother Nate.
He just stepped out, sis, to change his battery on the phone because I think that's why it went out. You got something?
Okay. Well, I have something marked that says something about the Sabians, but I'm trying to find it, and hopefully I'll find it by the time he comes back to the phone.
Okay. What'd you say it was about?
The Sabians.
The Sabian.
Yeah.
You had a question about it, or you was just?
Well, yeah, it's I have it marked in my Bible, not just the Sabians, but it's a question about a verse.
Oh, okay.
And I'm trying to find it. Just because I'm trying to find it, I can't find it.
Right.
And I know I marked it. Let me see if this is it. Let's see. No.
Sister Cheryl said something. She's trying to look.
It's a future question about, and it has something about Sabian something, and I'm trying to find it because I have it marked in my Bible. Let me see. That's not it. That's not it.
Brother got another question on Song of Solomon too.
Oh, another one. Well, I guess while you're looking for that, Sister Cheryl, we can add. I think we got another question out here. Where is it? It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
All right. Let me pull up YouTube.
You can, I'll read the question. Brother Hebrew Harv got also Song of Solomon. This one, 2 and verse 3. Is this liking the sons as bearing no fruit?
Song of Solomon 2. verse 3.
Let me get that. But you can go ahead and read it, though.
Okay. So we're moving over to Song of Solomon chapter 2, and we're going to pick it up at verse 3. Song of Solomon 2, verse 3. As the apple tree among the trees of the wood, as the apple tree among the trees of the wood, so is my beloved among the sons. I sat down under his shadow with great delight, and his fruit was sweet to my taste. He brought me to the banqueting house, and his banner over me was love. Stay me with flagons, comfort me with apples, for I am sick of love. His left hand is under my head, and his...
Good. You can reread that verse 3 again.
As the apple tree among the trees of the wood, so is my beloved among the sons. I sat down under his shadow with great delight, and his fruit was sweet to my taste.
Pick it up at verse 1.
I am the rose of Sharon, and the lily of the valleys. As the lily among thorns, so is my love among the daughters. As the apple tree among the trees of the wood, so is my beloved among the sons. I sat down under his shadow with great delight, and his fruit was sweet to my taste.
Go ahead.
He brought me to the banqueting house, and his banner over me was love.
Go ahead.
Stay me with flagons, comfort me with apples, for I am sick of love. His left hand is under my head, and his right hand doth embrace me.
Go ahead.
I charge you, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, by the roes and by the hinds of the field, that ye stir not up, nor awake my love till he please.
All right, so the question was, is this saying that the sons, this liking the sons as bearing no fruit? As the apple tree among the tree of the wood is my beloved among the sons. I sat down under his shadow with great delight, and his fruit was sweet to my taste. Well, this talking about a particular son.
Right, and he's saying that it's out of the apple trees, this is the apple tree, so beloved is among the sons. As the apple tree among the trees of the wood, so is my beloved among the sons.
And then,
so the stature of the apple tree is kind of like I had a higher standard in this breakdown.
pick it back up at verse 1 again.
I am the rose of Sharon and the lily of the valleys. As the lily among thorns, so is my love among the daughters. As the apple tree among the trees of the wood, so is my beloved among the sons. I sat down under his shadow with great delight, and his fruit was sweet to my taste.
All right, so verse 2 it says, the lilies among the thorns, so is my love among the daughters. Verse 3 is, as the apple tree among the trees of the wood, so is my beloved among the sons. I sat down under his shadow with great delight, and his fruit was sweet to my taste. And then verse 4 says what?
He brought me to the banqueting house, and his banner over me was love. Stay me with flagons, comfort me with apples, for I am sick of love. His left hand is under my head, and his right hand doth embrace me. I charge you, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, by the roes and by the hinds of the field, that ye stir not up, nor awake my love till he please. The voice of my beloved, behold, he cometh leaping upon the mountains, skipping upon the hills. My beloved is like a roe or a young hart. Behold, he standeth behind our wall. He looketh forth at the window, showing himself through the lattice.
Yeah, I can't say that that's talking about like the sons not bearing no fruit. It just says, at 2 it says, it's comparisons. At 2 it says, as lily among thorns, so is my love among the daughters. Verse 3, as the apple tree among the trees of the wood, so is my beloved among the sons. I sat down under his shadow with great delight, and his fruit was sweet to my taste. And let's go see something. Let's go to Lamentations real quick.
Lamentations. I'm gonna hold it there.
Huh?
I'm gonna put my marker here because I know we're gonna be back reading that. Lamentations, Ezekiel. Lamentations. Because it's almost like when it said that, like the lily among the thorns, you know, lily is like pretty compared to thorns, you know. So that comparison is showing the beauty. No, I'm just thinking out loud of what the comparison was in 2, and then it went on to 3 to say, you know, out of the apple trees of the wood. Say Lamentations.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting all type of texts at this time. Lamentations 2, and let's do Lamentation 2, and let's pick it up at verse 18. 2 and 18.
Their heart cried unto the Lord, O wall of the daughter of Zion, let tears run down like a river day and night. Give thyself no rest, let not the apple of thine eye cease.
So, and Lord, we know that the Lord referred to Israel as the apple of his eye too.
Right.
So, and Israel is also the Lord's firstborn too. Hold on, let me see something. You got any way you want to go real fast?
I was just going to go to the, he who hurt them hurts the apple of his eye. I think, let me see. Yeah, Zechariah. I wanted to go to Zechariah. Since you read that script right there, we can go to Zechariah 2. Zechariah 2, and I'm going to just read one verse here. Zechariah 2, let me see.
You said you will? Zechariah 2?
Hold on, is that it? Here now, no, hold on. No, 17, Psalm 17, I'm sorry. Psalms. Psalm 17, Psalm. Not Zechariah, y'all, Psalms.
17 and 8?
Yes.
Go ahead and read it.
Psalm 17, verse 8. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings. Because like Brother Nate said, you know, the Lord basically considers Israel the apple of his eye. And here we have David saying, keep me as the apple of thy eye. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings. You know, he's basically pleading for protection from the Lord and keep him safe, you know, and shelter him from his wicked enemies.
Yeah, so we can go back and read that Song of Solomon. What's that verse? Song of Solomon 2. What was that? Verse 3.
Yeah, 2 and verse 3. Yep.
Go ahead and read it.
As the apple tree among the trees of the wood, so is my beloved among the sons. I sat down under his shadow with great delight, and his fruit was sweet to my taste. He brought me to the banqueting house, and his banner over me was love. Stay me with flagons, comfort me with apples, for I am sick of love. His left hand is under my head, and his right hand doth embrace me. I charge you, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, by the roes and by the hinds of the field, that ye stir not up, nor awake my love till he please. Keep reading.
Where you at? What verse you at?
Verse 8.
Go ahead.
The voice of my beloved, behold, he cometh leaping upon the mountain, skipping upon the hills. My beloved is like a roe or a young hart. Behold, he standeth behind our wall. He looketh forth at the window, showing himself through the lattice. My beloved spake and said unto me, Rise up, my love, my fair one, and come away. For lo, the winter is past, the rain is over and gone. The flowers appear on the earth, the time of the singing of birds is come, and the voice of the turtle is heard in our land. The fig tree putteth forth her green figs, and the vines with the tender grape give a good smell.
All right, you good, but with that, this is at verse 3, that's actually describing the beloved.
Right.
And so let's see what a great beloved son. Go to Psalms 2.
Psalms 2. Psalms, Proverbs. Psalms 2.
Pick it up at verse 11.
Verse what?
Verse 11.
11. Serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son.
Kiss the who?
The Son. Lest he be angry and ye perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him.
Yeah, that's a powerful son right there, right?
Yeah, yeah. And that coincides with not awaken him until he pleased.
So now let's go back to Song of Solomon 2.
Pick it up.
You can pick it up at verse 1.
At verse 1. I am the rose of Sharon and the lily of the valleys. As the lily among thorns, so is my love among the daughters. As the apple tree among the trees of the wood, so is my beloved among the sons. I sat down under his shadow with great delight, and his fruit was sweet to my taste. He brought me to the banqueting house, and his banner over me was love.
All right, so this is talking about the beloved. So, let's see.
When he got baptized, let me see. My son, whom let me see.
Go to Luke 20.
Luke 20? Okay. Luke 20. And after that, I think I want to go to Matthew. I think that's when he got baptized and the voice said, "This is my beloved son." Luke 20.
Luke 20. What is it, Luke? I said Luke 20.
Yeah, Luke 20.
That's not what I want.
Man, my book tripping, man.
Yeah, it's Luke 20. And
I don't even have a 20. It just go in like without it being numbered. That's crazy. What verse?
Let's read this parable.
Okay.
Luke 20 and verse 9.
Verse 9. Then began he to speak to the people this parable. A certain man planted a vineyard and let it forth to husbandmen. and went into a far country for a long time.
All right, so we're dealing with this parable, right? So it says right here at 9, it says, a certain man planted a vineyard. We right back to this vineyard.
Vineyard, yep.
All right. And let it forth to husbandmen, which is farmers, all right, and went into a far country for a long time. All right. Go ahead, verse 10.
And at the season he sent a servant to the husbandmen that they should give him of the fruit of the vineyard, but the husbandmen beat him and sent him away empty.
Go ahead.
And again he sent another servant, and they beat him also, and entreated him shamefully, and sent him away empty.
And this is what they was doing to the prophets. Go ahead.
And again he sent the third, and they wounded him also, and cast him out.
Verse 13.
Then said the Lord of the vineyard, what shall I do?
So he asked the question right here, right? Go ahead.
I will send my beloved son.
Oh, he gonna send his what?
Beloved son.
He gonna send his beloved son. And what?
It may be they will reverence him when they see him.
And that's what was supposed to happen.
Right.
But then that's why when you go and read a Song of Solomon 1, it said that he couldn't even keep his vineyard. His vineyard he couldn't keep. His vineyard he couldn't keep. But verse 14, go ahead, because I really came here for 13. Then said the Lord of the vineyard, what shall I do? I will send my beloved son. We read that back there. He was a beloved son.
Out of all the sons, yeah.
It may be they will reverence him when they see him. Verse 14.
But when the husbandmen saw him, they reasoned among themselves, saying, this is the heir. Come, let us kill him, that the inheritance may be ours.
And you see this here? Verse 15.
So they cast him out of the vineyard.
Which the vineyard he could not keep, huh?
Yeah.
This is a parable. It says, so they cast him out of the vineyard, and what else?
And killed him.
What else?
What therefore shall the Lord of the vineyard do unto them?
Go ahead.
He shall come and destroy these husbandmen, and shall give the vineyard to others.
All right, so now let's go back to that Song of Solomon, because really it's like it's a back and forth. It's Jesus talking through Solomon, but then you hear it come from the point of view of Israel, of the beloved wife.
Right, it's back and forth, yep.
What I say back to Song of Solomon 2?
Yep.
You can pick it up in verse 3.
As the apple tree among the trees of the wood, so is my beloved among the sons. I sat down under his shadow with great delight, and his fruit was sweet to my taste.
All right, skip down. I want you to skip down to verse 16.
My beloved is mine, and I am his. He feedeth among the lilies.
All right, so it says, my beloved is mine, and I am his. He what?
He feedeth among the lilies.
Go ahead.
Until the daybreak, and the shadows flee away. Turn, my beloved, and be thou like a roe or a young hart upon the mountains of Bethel.
You know what? Go into 3. Did we read Song of Solomon 3 too? Go into verse 1. Go ahead.
By night on my bed I sought him whom my soul loveth. I sought him, but I found him not.
All right, and this is what can happen too. You searching for the Lord, and guess what? You might not find him. If you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. It said, by night on my bed I sought him whom my soul loveth. I sought him and I found him not. Go ahead, read verse 2.
I will rise now and go about the city in the streets, and in the broad ways I will seek him whom my soul loveth. I sought him, but I found him not.
Go ahead, verse 3.
The watchmen that go about the city found me, to whom I said, saw ye him whom my soul loveth?
Go ahead.
It was but a little that I passed from them, but I found him whom my soul loveth. I held him and would not let go, until I had brought him into my mother's house, and into the chamber of her that conceived me. I charge you, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, by the roes and by the hinds of the field, that ye stir not up, nor wake my love till he please.
You see, and that's why I say it's all talking about Jesus' love for Israel.
Right.
And so that, what was that? That was 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Yeah, that beloved son, that's Jesus.
I just wanted to add real quick, if you're looking for something, Nate, to
You can add something.
Matthew 3, because this is when Jesus got baptized, and we're gonna hear a voice and what the voice said to him. Matthew 3, Matthew, back this way. Matthew 3. 16. Let's start it off at 16. Matthew 3 and verse 16.
And Jesus, when he was baptized, went up straightway out of the water. And lo, the heavens were opened unto him. And he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and lighting upon him. And lo, a voice from heaven saying, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased.
See, this is when Jesus first got baptized. So this definitely is the beloved Son. And lo, a voice from heaven saying, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. That's all I wanted to add.
Yeah, so I don't got nothing else on that question. I hope that answered the question. We got anything on Facebook?
Let me go back to Facebook. Nope, nothing on Facebook.
All right, anything on the conference line? Sister Cheryl, you found that question you had?
Yes, I did.
What you got, Sister Cheryl?
Isaiah 45.
Isaiah 45?
And 14.
What's the question?
Okay, I've seen the Sabians in here twice. This is the second time, maybe 3 times. And I'm trying to figure out who they are. Do they play a significant role in the future? Because I know one verse, it talks about them in future tense.
Say that one more time, Sister Cheryl. I'm sorry.
Okay, the Sabians that are mentioned in this verse, I was wondering who they are and what role they play as far as Israel. And I know they're mentioned in future tense as well, but I cannot remember where. I mean, it was years ago. I read it, and I seen it, and I asked somebody else, but that's been so many years ago. And then I've seen it again recently in different books. Like I'm seeing this in Isaiah. I want to say it was the Old Testament. I mean well, it was still Old Testament, but it was further up in the Old Testament. Did I seen something about the Sabians or something? I can't remember what it is, but I know it was in future. It was in future tense, and I see it here again. So I just want to know who these people are and what role do they play as far as Israel.
All right, so let's go. Let's read that Isaiah 45.
Oh, Isaiah? My
Yep,
bad.
Isaiah 45, and that's verse 14, right, Sister Cheryl?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and read that.
Thus saith the Lord, the labor of Egypt and merchandise of Ethiopia and of the Sabians, men of stature, shall come over unto thee, and they shall be thine. They shall come after thee, in chains they shall come over, and they shall fall down unto thee. They shall make supplication unto thee, saying, Surely God is in thee, and there is none else. There is no God.
All right, so let's pick it up in verse 13.
I have raised him up in righteousness, and I will direct all his ways. He shall build my city, and he shall let go my captives. not for price nor reward, saith the Lord of hosts. Thus saith the Lord, the labor of Egypt and merchandise of Ethiopia and of the Sabians, men of stature, shall come over unto thee, and they shall be thine. They shall come after thee. In chains they shall come over, and they shall fall down unto thee. They shall make supplication unto thee, saying, surely God is in thee, and there is none else. There is no God.
All right, go to verse 15. Read 15.
Verily thou art a God that hidest thyself, O God of Israel, the Savior.
16.
They shall be ashamed and also confounded, all of them. They shall go to confusion together that are makers of idols.
Go ahead, 17.
But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end.
All right, so you want to know where you seen Sabian at before in the Bible?
Yes, I know they're mentioned in future tense. I just cannot remember
Where?
in what book.
All right, so we got, let's go to Job. You know what, let's see if this is the future tense you're looking for. Let's go to Joel 3. Joel 3, and let's pick it up at verse 8.
Joel 3 and verse 8. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off from the Lord for the Lord has spoken it.
All right, so now let's go pick it up at Joel 3 and verse 1.
For, behold, in those days, and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
This is the future, right? Go ahead.
And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink.
This is what they did to us, right? So at verse 1 he said, behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is Armageddon. All right, and I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Verse 3.
And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink.
This is what they did to Israel, right? Go ahead, verse 4.
Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense?
Go ahead.
And if ye recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head.
Go ahead.
Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things.
See, they didn't stole from God. Go ahead.
The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their borders.
And this is what the Lord said, we was going to be sold into captivity. Yeah. We was going to be dealt with for disobedience. But right here, verse 6 says, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. Verse 7, go ahead. Behold,
I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head.
So now I'm going to come gather my people. And I'm going to return unto you what you did to them. I'm going to return that back unto you. Go ahead.
And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah.
Go ahead.
And they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for the Lord hath spoken.
Go ahead.
Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great.
Go ahead.
Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision.
Go ahead.
The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining.
And this hasn't happened yet, right, Sister Cheryl? So this is where you see them at in that time frame, in future time frame, where you see that name pop up. Who they are, I have no clue.
I was just gonna ask that does the Bible say who they are?
So let's go to Job.
They must gonna play a significant role in the future though. That's what it sounds like from just reading that one verse.
Yeah, they're gonna be doing some selling.
Right.
They'll be selling some people, but that's what they did to us too. Because Egypt is house of bondage. So what I say? I said Job.
Job, yep.
Job 1 and pick it up at 13.
And there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the asses feeding beside them. And the Sabians fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee.
All right, so right here you see that the Sabians came and I'll reread that 13. And there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house, and there came a message unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing and asses feeding beside them, and the Sabians fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I am only escaped alone to tell thee. So these Sabians did some killing and some plundering.
Yeah, even back then, yeah.
Yeah, so right here you see that they was right there during Job's time. What you was trying to go to Ezekiel?
I don't even know now. I lost it. I was just seeing if they can, they given any kind of nationality as Sabians.
No, they probably would have been, it looked like they would have been Arabian.
Yeah, that's what it's saying. Ancient group of South Arabians.
Yeah. And which makes sense because the Arabs had, you had the Arab slave trade.
Right.
So.
And they were vicious, saying that boy was a wild man.
So who they totally was, I have no idea. I'm not going to even hit you with Deuteronomy 29 and 29, Sister Cheryl. What, I just don't know, I mean, as a nation-wise, I mean,
I know.
There was Arabs. So, yeah, I can't say if they was out of Ishmael or what. I can't really say which one nation they came out of.
Well, I know they weren't Gentile because it mentioned in one of the verses that you just read that
Yeah. in Joel 3 when it talked about they.
One of the other nations.
Yeah, they're gonna be doing the selling. So we can go read it again. What was that? Joel 3.
Job 3.
Joel 3. Joel 3 and verse 8.
Oh, let me get there. Joel 3 and 8. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for the Lord has spoken it.
Now see right there. And then verse 9.
Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come.
That's good. So in verse 8 it just was saying, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for the Lord has spoken. So the Lord spoke it. So
It's gonna come to pass.
yeah, they wouldn't be Gentiles. Yeah, they're not Gentiles like you said, Sister Cheryl. Anything else?
Let me go back on Facebook? Let me go back.
No, I don't have anything else.
Nope, still nothing on Facebook.
No.
Peace, Brother Ronald. Go to Isaiah 2.
Isaiah 2.
Isaiah 2, and let's see something here. Pick it up in verse 1.
The word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem.
Keep going.
And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
Verse 4.
And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares.
Now that weaponry that they was doing in Joel 3, when they was turning they was turning it into weaponry, they finna turn that weaponry back into farming equipment.
That's right.
It said he should judge among the nations, and he should rebuke many people, and they should beat their swords into plowshares. What else?
And their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore.
Go ahead.
O house of Jacob, come ye, and let us walk in the light of the Lord. Therefore thou hast forsaken thy people, the house of Jacob, because they be replenished from the east, and are soothsayers like the Philistines, and they please themselves in the children of strangers.
Go ahead.
Their land also is full of silver and gold, neither is there any end of their treasures. Their land is also full of horses, neither is there any end of their chariots. Their land also is full of idols. They worship the work of their own hands, that which their own fingers have made. And the mean man boweth down, and the great man humbleth himself, therefore forgive them not.
Verse 10, let's see something.
Enter into the rock, and hide thee in the dust, for fear of the Lord, and for the glory of his majesty.
Go ahead.
The lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. For the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon every one that is proud and lofty,
Go ahead.
and upon every one that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low.
Go ahead.
And upon all the cedars of Lebanon that are high and lifted up, and upon all the oaks of Bashan, and upon all the high mountains, and upon all the hills that are lifted up, and upon every high tower, and upon every fence wall, and upon all the ships of Tarshish, and upon all pleasant pictures.
That's good. Skip down to verse 19.
And they shall go into the holes of the rocks, and into the caves of the earth.
So they're starting to hide themselves. Because the day of the Lord ain't nothing nice. Go ahead.
For fear of the Lord, and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth.
You gonna do what? Shake the earth terribly. Go ahead.
In that day a man shall cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which they made each one for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats, to go into the clefts of the rocks and into the tops of the ragged rocks, for fear of the Lord, and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth.
Go ahead.
Cease ye from man, whose breath is in his nostrils, for wherein is he to be accounted of?
That's good. So that day that we read about, when he gonna be doing a lot of killing. In Joel 3, he gonna let them know, hey, he coming. In Joel 3, he coming to kill.
Yeah. Sure is.
I don't see nothing else.
I can go back to, yeah, nothing on Facebook.
We ain't got nothing on YouTube. No other callers? Nothing on the conference line?
Nope, I think I'm the only one that's still here.
Trooper.
Sister Jeannie is.
Hey, Sister Jeannie.
Hi, Brother Nate.
You got any You got a question?
Greetings, sis.
No question at this time. Thank
No.
you.
No question. Okay. We probably get Brother John about 9 o'clock, right when we're about to get ready to close out. Let's see. Yeah, we ain't got nothing online no more. Okay. You got anything you want to read?
No, not off the top of my head. I thought I wanted to add a little 2 cents, but I forgot what I wanted to add to it. No, because you read the scriptures already about the Sabians.
You know what? Let's go to Genesis. Genesis.
You said Genesis?
Let's see something.
Well, I just want to say I appreciate you guys being available on Wednesday for me. Thank you.
Praise the Lord.
Praise God, sis.
That is a very true statement.
This kind of go back to, I'm not saying that these are the Sabians, but let's look at Genesis 37.
37.
Genesis 37.
We know who, Genesis 37, and we know that this is dealing with Joseph. Well, I just want to, because we know Ishmaelites, Midianites, they are considered Arabians. That's why I said I can't really say who what's that? The
Sabians.
Sabians.
Or Sabians, however you pronounce it.
What was the spell? S-E?
Sabeans.
All right.
Sabians.
Yeah. So,
Sabians.
Genesis 37, pick it up at verse 27.
You said 37
Mm-hmm.
and 27. Come and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh, and his brethren were content.
All right, so now we see that he said, hey, let's sell him to the Ishmaelites. Talking about Joseph, right?
Right.
And then verse 28.
Then there passed by Midianites.
Also, then now it went from Ishmaelites to what?
Midianites.
Midianites.
Right.
Go ahead.
Merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought Joseph to Egypt.
All right, so now let's go. What was that? That was Isaiah. What was that, Sister Cheryl? Isaiah
37.
Isaiah 40.
Isaiah 45.
That's
45.
what, okay. Yep.
Okay. Oh, look, I kept it. Good. A little ribbon coming in handy. Look at that.
Let me get to Isaiah 45 and
14.
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we finna see something. Isaiah 45, read that 14.
Thus saith the Lord, the labor of Egypt and merchandise of Ethiopia and of the Sabians, men of stature, shall come over unto thee, and they shall be thine. They shall come after thee, in chains they shall come over, and they shall fall down unto thee. They shall make supplication unto thee, saying, surely God is in thee, and there is none else, there is no God.
All right, that's good. So you see that you got the labor of Egypt, and merchandise of Ethiopia, and of the Sabians, men of stature, shall come over unto thee, and they shall be thine. They shall come after thee in chains, they shall come over, and they shall fall down unto thee, and they shall make supplication unto thee, saying, surely God is in thee, there is none else, there is no God. So he basically showing you that they go come down, they go bow down to you. But you see right here, you got the Midianites, and they called them merchant men, and then this back in Genesis, and then they went down to Egypt. Let's go to, so we're going to stay in Genesis 25 or 25. No, I'm sorry, 26.
You said Genesis 25?
Yes, Genesis 25. I'm looking for. 25, and we see that, you know, Abraham had other sons too. 25, and pick it up at verse 1.
Then again Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah, and she bare him Zimram, and Jokshan, and Medin, and Midian, and Ishbak, and Shua.
So you see these here? So he had some other sons. That's why it's kind of hard to trace down where they can, like, well, some of these sons, when you read later, who they actually came from.
Right.
That's like that takes some research. Verse 3.
And Jokshan begat Sheba and Dedan, and the sons of Dedan were Ashirim, and Letushim, and Lamim. And the sons of Midian, Ephah, and Epher, and Hanok, and Abida, and Eldah. All these were the children of Keturah.
All right, so he had quite a bit of sons from Keturah, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac.
Because everything was supposed to go to who? Isaac. So he had other sons. So there are, like, we just try to make it that you only need 3 Semitic sons.
Right. Like,
you know, it's just Isaac, Ishmael, then Jacob, and you know, and we keep it at that. You know, Esau. You know, Esau, and then, you know, they don't even count us as being Semitic.
Right.
But it said Abraham gave all that he had to Isaac. Verse 6.
But unto the sons of the concubines which Abraham gave gifts and sent them away from Isaac his son, while he yet lived eastward unto the east country.
So he had other sons. So
the east country too. That's what they consider. Well, they call it the Middle East now. But.
Yep. So that Middle East, that whole area, a lot of the sons are over there.
Yep.
So
yeah, that's a good one. I should have wrote that down.
Let's see. Brother John, you out there?
Hello?
Yeah, Brother John.
How y'all doing tonight?
Fine, how are you?
I'm making it. Yeah, I was, now I don't have nothing tonight, just everybody keep me in prayers. I pray for everybody else.
Sure thing, brother.
You got anything, Brother John? You got anything? You got a question, anything?
Well, I understand the question.
What you got, Brother John?
Oh, no, I ain't got nothing tonight.
Okay. It's good hearing your voice.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was sitting there watching this thing get some things.
I guess if we ain't got nothing, this is going to be a short Q&A.
Yeah, all right. I'm looking forward to going over the Passover.
Yeah, I was going to read something about that too. Oh, we got a question online. YouTube. Hebrew Harv. I need understanding on when Jesus comes set up his kingdom, it's going to be flesh and spirit being living at the same time. But the ones that are flesh, are they going to be righteous individuals? That's a good question.
Are they going to be righteous individuals?
Very good question. see what I really want to go to. I know I want to go to Isaiah. Isaiah 65. Isaiah 65. So the question is, and I'm gonna read the question again. It says, I need understand on when Jesus comes, set up the kingdom, up his kingdom, it's going to be flesh and spirit beings living at the same time. But the ones that are flesh, are they going to be righteous individuals? All right, so let's go see this here. Let's go to Isaiah 65.
Uh-oh. Flanked out again. Brief pause, y'all. We gotta dial back in on the conference call. We lost the signal again. So I was saying that wrong. I was saying Sabians. Well, it might be Sabians. Sabian or Sabians.
We're gonna read it.
I think I found something in Zechariah too that can kind of explain who's gonna be on the earth during the 1,000 years.
All right, we back. All right, so let's pick it up at Isaiah 65. Like I said, the question is, once again, I need understanding on when Jesus come to set up his kingdom, and is it going to be flesh and spirit beings living in the same time? But the ones that are flesh, are they going to be righteous individuals? So let's go to Isaiah 65 and verse 1. Isaiah 65 and verse 1. Pick it up there for me, bro.
I am sought of them that asked not for me. I am found of them that sought me not. I said, behold me unto a nation that was not called by my name. I have spread out my hands all the day unto a rebellious people, which walketh in a way that was not good, after their own thoughts. A people that provoketh me to anger continually to my face, that sacrificeth in gardens and burneth incense upon altars of brick.
So he letting you know, and the reason why I started right here is that we know he gonna come gather his people, but we made him mad because we was very disobedient. We was doing things that he told us not to do.
Right.
Go ahead.
4. Which remain among the graves and lodge in the monuments, which eat swine's flesh and broth of abominable things in their vessels.
Go ahead.
Which say, stand by thyself, come not near to me, for I am holier than thou. These are a smoke in my nose, a fire that burneth all the day.
All right, so and we got them people right now. I'm blessed and highly favored. Get away from me. But they in them places eating pork chops, catfish, and everything.
Yeah.
but they think they know God. They really don't know God. And the crazy part about it is the ones that's doing it is Israel the most.
Right.
Verse 6, go ahead.
Behold, it is written before me, I will not keep silence, but will recompense even recompense into their bosom.
Go ahead.
Your iniquities and the iniquities of your fathers together, saith the Lord, which have burned incense upon the mountains and blasphemed me upon the hills, therefore will I measure their former work into their bosom. Thus saith the Lord, as the new wine is found in the cluster, and one saith, destroy it not, for a blessing is in it. So will I do for my servants' sakes, that I may not destroy them all.
You see, he said, I'm not going to destroy them all, right? Let's see something. Go ahead.
And I will bring forth a seed out of Jacob, and out of Judah, an inheritor of my mountains, and mine elect shall inherit it, and my servants shall dwell there. And Sharon shall be a fold of flocks, and the valley of Achor a place for the herds to lie down in, for my people that have sought me.
Go ahead.
But ye are they that forsake the Lord, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that troop, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number.
Let's skip down verse 17.
For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered nor come into mind.
Go ahead.
But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy.
Go ahead.
And I will rejoice in Jerusalem, and joy in my people, and the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. There shall be no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that hath not filled his days. For the child shall die 100 years old.
Oh, so a child should die how old?
100 years old.
So this is right here letting you know we in that 1,000-year peace right here. So this is showing you there's still gonna be some flesh right there. All right. So it says there should be no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that have not filled his days, for the child should die 100 years old. But what?
But the sinner, being 100 years old, shall be accursed.
Oh, but the sinner, being 100 years old, shall be accursed.
He even lived 100 years.
So you see, you got a sinner right here. All right. So, and then let's see if this is let you know that we talking about when Jesus is here with us. Pick it up at verse 21.
What was it, 66? Oh, 65 and 21?
65 and 21.
And they shall build houses and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and eat the fruit of them. They shall not build and another inhabit, they shall not plant and another eat. For as the days of a tree are the days of my people, and mine elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. They shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth for trouble. For they are the seed of the blessed of the Lord, and their offspring with them. And it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer, and while they are yet speaking, I will hear.
Because he's here with us.
That's right.
Let's see something. 25.
The wolf and the lamb shall feed together, and the lion shall eat straw like the bullock.
So the animals ain't even attacking nobody. Go ahead.
And dust shall be the serpent's meat. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, the heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Where is the house? Where is the house?
No, that's good. We ain't got to read into 66. Let's go to Revelation 20.
65.
We'll go to Isaiah. You can bookmark Isaiah 66.
Where'd you say we're going to now?
We're going to Revelation. Revelation 20.
Okay.
Right, and so that answered probably the second part. So it says, but the ones that are flesh, are they going to be righteous individuals? You're going to have, majority should be righteous, but you can still sin. You still can sin. We just read that.
Right.
That a sinner can die at 100 years old.
Right.
So what I said, Revelation 20?
Yes.
All right, so yeah, pick it up at Revelation 20, pick it up at verse 1.
And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand.
Go ahead.
And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years.
So now he bound for 1,000 years. So he ain't even in there causing that havoc during that time frame. That's yourself. That's yourself. Go ahead, verse 3.
And cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more.
Oh, so he ain't deceiving the nation for 1,000 years. So yeah, it goes to show you that you got to keep yourself intact. The flesh got to literally keep themselves intact. The spirits, they righteous.
Right.
The ones that got that made it in the first resurrection, they righteous. The flesh, they can still mess up. Verse 4.
You want me to finish 3 or
Oh,
just go
go
to
ahead.
4? Deceive the nations no.
You can pick it back up at 3 from the top.
And cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season.
So he's going to be loose for a little bit, for just a little second. Go ahead.
And I saw thrones that they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus, and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years.
All right, so all them people that made it through tribulations, you know, hey, we all hoping for the first resurrection. Hey, if you make it into the second resurrection, I can't say that you totally messed up, but you should be striving for the first resurrection. But if you flesh in the kingdom, that's still hope. You just want to stay the course. Just like you flesh now, you got to stay the course.
Yes, sir.
See, we can mess up at any time. Where you at? Verse 5. That was in the 4. Go ahead, read verse 5.
But the rest of the dead live not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection.
All right, so now the first resurrection, that's the spirit beings that was in that kingdom that we read about over there in Isaiah 65. Verse 6.
Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. On such the second death hath no power, but they shall be priests of God and of Christ, and shall reign with him 1,000 years.
All right, so they already got their reward. Verse 7.
And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea.
Now he loose for that little season, like you said, right? And then he go try to cause some more havoc, but that havoc gonna get shut down real quick. Go ahead.
And they went up on the breadth of the earth, and compassed the camp of the saints about, and the beloved city, and fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever.
All right, verse 11.
And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them.
All right, that's good. Keep a finger right there, Revelation 20. Let's go back to Isaiah. Isaiah 66 this time. In 65, we read that you can be 100 years old and die a sinner. What I say, Isaiah 66?
Yes.
Isaiah 66 and pick it up to verse 1.
Thus saith the Lord, the heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Where is the house that ye build unto me? And where is the place of my rest?
Verse 2.
For all those things hath mine hand made, and all those things have been, saith the Lord. But to this man will I look, even to him that is poor and of a contrite spirit, and trembleth at my word. He that killeth an ox is as if he slew a man. He that sacrificeth a lamb, as if he cut off a dog's neck. He that offereth an oblation, as he offered swine's blood. He that burneth incense, as if he blessed an idol. Yea, they have chosen their own ways, and their soul delighteth in their abominations.
Go ahead.
I also will choose their delusions, and will bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before mine eyes, and chose that in which I delighted not.
Now he's talking about what Israel had done. The world doing it as a whole, too. But right here he said, when he also chose that delusion, because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. So he's telling you what to do, you don't want to hear it. But it's the opposite of that. You go, he's there with right then and there. And I know that's what kind of throw people off, like, man, you know, he right there. How can you actually, see it? But they did it in the wilderness, didn't they?
They sure did.
And he was there.
They was at the bottom of the mountain sinning.
Verse 5.
Hear the word of the Lord, ye that tremble at his word. Your brethren that hated you, that cast you out for my name's sake, said, let the Lord be glorified. But he shall appear to your joy, and they shall be ashamed. A voice of noise from the city, a voice from the temple, a voice of the Lord that rendereth recompense to his enemies.
And we done read this many times. He gonna recompense the enemy. He gonna recompense your enemies. And it's really this is like a whole lesson, because we know he want to dwell in Jerusalem. That's the city of the great king.
That's right.
You go read. I can't think of it offhand, but call it the city of God. But go ahead. Where stop you at?
7. We're on 7.
Skip down to verse 10.
Rejoice ye with Jerusalem, and be glad with her, all ye that love her. Rejoice for joy with her, all ye that mourn for her, that ye may suck and be satisfied with the breast of her consolations, that ye may milk out and be delighted with the abundance of her glory. For thus saith the Lord, behold, I will extend peace to her like a river, and the glory of the Gentiles like a flowing stream. Then shall ye suck, ye shall be born upon her sides, and be dandled upon her knees.
And we read over there in 65, like you gonna be. Did we read about how they gonna be building things? Did we read that?
Building 65? Houses, I think we did. Yeah, we read it.
And nobody go dwell them, because you build anything now.
Yep.
You ain't building nothing for yourself. They taking over what you build. They got you building things for them. Verse 13.
As one whom his mother comforteth, so will I comfort you, and ye shall be comforted in Jerusalem.
You'll be right back in the land. You'll be back in the land, and he's going to comfort you. 14.
And when ye see this, your heart shall rejoice, and your bones shall flourish like an herb. And the hand of the Lord shall be known toward his servants, and his indignation toward his enemies.
Go ahead.
For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire.
So now this is when he coming back, and we didn't talked about that before too. He coming back to kill. Verse 16.
For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
And that's one thing people got to tell. They should be telling their neighbor that the slain of the Lord shall be many. But they say, turn to your neighbor and tell them. Turn to your neighbor and say, the slain of the Lord shall be many.
I don't want to hear that.
And we know the Lord ain't literally finna plead with nobody. He created you.
Right.
It said, for by fire, by sword will the Lord plead with all flesh. Like, he not finna be sitting up there trying to beg you. You do what he say do.
Yep.
17.
They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh in the abomination, and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Lord.
So we just read over there Isaiah 65, this same thing.
Yeah.
He literally trying to plead with you right now through his word. Telling you to stop doing that. But we also read that his, what was it said, that it wasn't the shepherds that traded his, that messed up his vineyard. I can't think, right now I can't think of it here, but these false prophets, these false shepherds, these fake shepherds, whatever you want to call them, they messing you up.
Right. I think pastors, I think it might have said pastors, destroyed his vineyard.
Verse 18.
For I know their works and their thoughts. For I know their works and their thoughts. It shall come that I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory. And I will set a sign among them, and I will send those that escape to them unto the nations, to Tarshish, Pool, and Lud, that draw the bow, to Tubal and Javan, to the isles afar off, that have not heard my fame, neither have seen my glory, and they shall declare my glory among the Gentiles.
Verse 20.
And they shall bring all your brethren for an offering unto the Lord out of all nations, upon horses, and in chariots, and in litters, and upon mules, and upon swift beasts, to my holy mountain, Jerusalem, saith the Lord, as the children of Israel bring an offering in a clean vessel into the house of the Lord.
21.
And I will also take of them for priests and for Levites, saith the Lord.
Go ahead.
For as the new heavens and the new earth which I will make shall remain before me, saith the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain.
Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another.
So now we see something here, right? It should come to pass from one new moon to another. What?
And from one Sabbath to another.
From one Sabbath to another.
Shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord.
But we just read that in that first resurrection in Revelation, that's going to be spear beings.
Right.
But right here, we reading right now that what's going to come up and worship? All flesh.
All flesh.
All flesh going to come to worship.
That's right.
24.
And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me. For their worms shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh.
And they should be abhorrent to all flesh. But at 24 it says, and they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me, for their worms shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be abhorrent to all flesh. Go back to Revelation, and then this is it. I'm going to get ready to go ahead and end it on our Revelation. We're going to go to Revelation 19, then we're going to go back to Revelation 20 and pick it up at where we Revelation 19. Because it says they'll look upon the carcass. You stay right there in Revelation. I'll read Isaiah 66 and 24. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me, for their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they should be abhorrent to all flesh. So we finna see what they gonna be looking at. And this would, when you see this, you shouldn't want to see it. So that's why you know that, hey, naturally the flesh will get you jacked up. We ain't got time to go read it because we'll be here all night long. We can go read in Romans about what the flesh should do. Revelation, what I said, Revelation 19? 19. Let's go, let's read this here, 19 and 19. Pick it up right there.
And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army.
And we already know what he said. He really gathered them together. They go try to fight him. He had made this all happen. 20, go ahead.
And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone.
They was cast alive in the lake of fire, huh? See, in Isaiah 66, that's what they're coming up and they're going to see. They're going to see them guys in that lake of fire. These two men. That's how you know that's that 1,000-year period right there going on. So then now let's go down. Let's go to Revelations 20, and let's see something. After the 1,000 years is over with, pick it up at verse 7.
And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. And they went up on the breadth of the earth, and compassed the camp of the saints about, and the beloved city, and fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire, fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever.
Oh, so now we see it's forever and ever. And we read about them all the way in Isaiah 66, right? Then we read about them over here in Revelation 19. Then we see that they already in the lake of fire before Satan.
Before Satan get there.
And this is what? After the 1,000 years. So it looked like I kind of went a little left, but at the same time, it says the question still is flesh and spirit being living at the same time? So yes, you're going to have flesh and spirit in there. And then the next part is that our flesh, are they going to be righteous individuals? You go have some people that in that 1,000 years they can sin. And then it says I need to understand on when Jesus come to set up his kingdom. When he goes start getting ready to set up the kingdom right after. Let's go read Matthew 24. And that's a whole nother lesson in itself because he got to minister to us for 3.5 years too. What did I say, Matthew 24?
Yes, sir.
Matthew 24, we're going to get straight into it. Matthew 24, and pick it up at 29.
Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken.
And we done read that multiple times already, haven't we? We read some of that in Isaiah 2, right?
Yep.
Go ahead.
And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven.
So immediately after tribulation is when we go see the sign of the Son of Man? Go ahead.
In heaven, And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other.
And that's when he go start gathering us. And we know
Four
that
quarters of the earth.
And this is going to be during a period of time. So I hope that answered the question. We'll go ahead and close on now.
Peace to everyone. If we didn't get to your questions tonight, y'all can join back with us next Wednesday or even earlier this coming Sabbath. We're going to go ahead and close out.
Go ahead, my brother.
Our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father, which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come,
thy will be done in earth
thy will be done in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread,
Give us this day our daily bread,
and forgive us our debts
and forgive us our debts
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
The phone shut off again.
For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. In Jesus' holy name we pray. Amen.
Line unmuted.
Jesus, sure. Can you hear us?
I can hear you now.
Yeah. It muted itself somehow. All right. Peace to everybody that's on there. We're going to go ahead and
Peace.
peace.
everybody have a blessed night.
You too, Brother John.
All right. How's the weather in Texas?
It's okay.